All right, hey travelers, Chris here for unmatchedvoyages.com. We are in Taipei. I hope it's not too loud around here. And we are going to try out the Regent Taipei today. Now, in the app, the pictures look really amazing. But I also have to say, from the outside here, it does look quite old. So I'm curious to see whether this is just an old facade and a very nice and pleasant experience, or whether this is something that is in dire need of renovation. So let's see, let's check it out.
This video is sponsored by our own website unmatchedvoyages.com, where you can find hotel and flight reviews, deals and promotions, destination reviews and much more. So click the link below or go to unmatchedvoyages.com to find out more. Alright, as always, let's have a look at where the Regent Taipei is located. You can see here the island of Taiwan off the coast of China, and Taipei, of course, here in the north. Now, if we have a look at where the Regent is located, it is definitely very central. You have the central station just around 5 minutes drive from the hotel, so it's extremely central. It's very easy to get around in, and you have a couple of train lines, subway lines also to get around the city, so it's perfect to actually explore Taipei and its surroundings. When you then approach the Regent Taipei, you can already see from the outside, and you saw that in the intro, that it's definitely a grand hotel in a way that this hotel has seen a bit of better times. The building, of course, is not the newest. It is kind of interconnected with a mall inside. That's why you see, for example, here the Chanel shops. There are some boutiques inside. This is called the Regent Gallery. And once you enter, it also kind of continues with this feeling of, if you see the hotel staff uniforms, it feels very much out of a different time, in a good and a bad way, I have to say. I think here at the entrance, it looks very elegant, and you feel like you are very important when you come in on this kind of shiny marble floor, so that feels great. It's definitely very busy in the lobby. You can see here with the shops, there's a lot of foot traffic. It seems that there's generally a lot of people coming in to spend some time not only shopping but going to the hotel restaurants and bars. So that's kind of very fun for people watching. It feels very lively. It reminds me a bit of some of the Grand hotels in New York, where there's just a lot going on, so it's always fun to watch. Now, once you go a bit further into the building, you will also see this kind of big gallery and area where there's indeed some live music also in the afternoons and evenings, at least most of the days we were there. You can sit here on the gallery. I think this bar is even called a cafe gallery, so we actually tried it out. There's some TVs for sports, and you can see here, you can order some drinks. We tried some sparkling, I believe that's sparkling tea and a watermelon juice. If you're interested in the prices, just pause here to see, but it's definitely nothing too crazy, as Taipei in general is not a very expensive city. One thing to note that I found quite odd was that they actually went around with this little cart with some Serrano ham or Iberico ham. What was strange to us, at least, was that they didn't quite indicate that this was a paid offer, so they were going from table to table, seeing if anyone was interested in some ham. First, we were interested because we thought this is kind of part of, they want to, give you some sample ham, and then if you like it, you can pay to have a proper platter or so. But no, it was actually, once they put it on a platter and handed it to us, suddenly now it's actually quite expensive, and I don't know, it just felt really weird and a bit cheap, like, this kind of upselling at the table. I expected from a Holiday Inn hotel maybe, but not at a supposedly luxury hotel. This one to me was a bit odd. Anyways, you can see here there's the live music, piano, contrabass, saxophone. It was actually quite nice and very popular, and so there's always a good level of noise in a positive way. It's always buzzing at this kind of lobby and gallery area, which is quite fun. Anyways, now let's head up. You can see already we got around 20 floors. We were located on the 17th. You can already see from the hallway that it also here is a bit older with these dark wooden colors. Interesting also that you get these really heavy metal keys which you use to open the doors. It's really like a traditional key lock instead of some kind of key card. Definitely interesting, haven't seen that for a while. Took a couple of tries to also get right. But anyways, let's check out the room to see how they are.
All right, here we are our king room, 45 square meters. Let's have a look at what we can see. Let's first go into the main room. You can see it's definitely a bit more spacious. Not sure if the space is always well used. Overall, the colors, you be the judge of that. To me, it looks a little bit old school, but then the Regent Taipei is also already a little bit of an older hotel. You have a big bed, that's fantastic. It is actually freaking hard, so I'm really curious to see how this will be for sleeping. Nevertheless, you have of course a TV. That one is fairly new, so they must have changed it at a certain point. And then once you come in, you have a little bit of a workspace. This doesn't look very nice, but I think actually these types of chairs are good if you actually want to get some work done, so that's good. And then you have here a little bit of a lounge area. Now I believe these fruits and also some little goodies here came with the status, but I'm not entirely sure, so this might be also coming with the hotel room. And then as mentioned here, you have the seating area, and once you come over here, and I guess I have to lay that over again because it's super bright outside, you actually have a really nice view. Technically you can see the Taipei 101, so they were very proud of mentioning that to us. And you see Taipei, the city, plus a lot of park. So overall the view is nice, even though the windows are a little bit dirty. You do have blinds. Unfortunately, those are manual, so you cannot just click a button. And same for the curtains, I believe those are all manual. So once you want to turn down for the night, you have to do that yourself. Overall, it's fine. There's a lot of wear and tear, to be honest, with this dark wood. You can easily see all the scuffs, so I think it's not terrible, it's just very visible, but the carpet at least is okay. And then as you can see, you can put your suitcase here, and we also have this fairly big storage area, kind of wardrobe, also with a safe here, so you can put your stuff in here. Another thing, of course, let's talk about the bathroom. So if you come here to the entrance, before we go to the bathroom, I have to mention that I don't think there's a coffee machine here, at least we don't have any. That's a bit disappointing for a Regent brand, in my opinion, so you only have kind of this tiny water kettle, and that's about it. There is some ground coffee that I guess you can mix with hot water, but come on, that's a bit sad. Anyways. Here is then the bathroom. It's actually also fairly big, and they kept these kind of cream colors, I guess. You get a shower. It's not fully rain shower, but at least it's quite tall even for me. Now, I'm not familiar with the shampoo and conditioner branding. This is called Wellspring Spa. No idea, but it looks nice, so that's good. Of course, refillable. We see that more and more with the hotels. You do have a Japanese toilet, so you have the bidet function and all of that fuss, which we always love. It looks a bit sad, the toilet room though, but anyway, you get some water, Regent branded, so that's nice. And there are also small amenities, so when we look inside of here, we actually have all the, the shaver, the toothbrush, and so on. Besides that, sink is fairly big, only one, but I think at least you have a lot of storage space to put all your stuff here. And then you also have quite a massive bathtub. Now, unfortunately, you don't have a window, so you will just be here in the bathroom. You cannot really see outside, but I think it's still nice to have this. So overall, that's a good addition. You can definitely tell that this is not the newest hotel and not the newest room. I still feel like it could be a bit nicer for the Regent brand, but keep in mind that this is also not a very expensive Regent property, so maybe we need to put that into perspective. So yeah, that's it for the room, so let's check out the other amenities and see how that goes.
So let's talk breakfast, and for that we go basically back to this big gallery live music area, and on the bottom side there's actually an entrance to the restaurant area. The restaurant is called Brasserie, and once you enter you immediately come to the counters where the food is. You can see it here. It is really massive, and the hotel, I believe it, with a lot of rooms, they have to cater to very big crowds, so it's very spacious, I have to say. But it's also incredibly busy. You can see it here a little bit. You come then into a big hall where you sit. It feels a bit like a university kind of food hall to me, albeit a very nice one, but it's a little bit cramped, to be honest, which was not the best experience. It was also incredibly loud, to be honest, with so many people, but regardless, it's of course doable. You can see here the options, and it's hard to even like take all of it on camera, basically, because there's just so many options, so many different areas with savory food, with sweet food. You can see here some samples. I believe anyone can find the perfect breakfast here in terms of options, at least. Now, quality-wise, it's fine. Again, if we keep the price in mind, I guess it's a decent offering, but I have to say, especially for me, I notice it when it comes to the fruit or the pastries. There's definitely some improvement there. This is not exactly high-end or luxury, especially when we see these plastic packs of jam and butter. And also, as you can see on some of the shots here, it was really grazed off the buffet, so they didn't refill a lot of the food very quickly. So most of the time, somehow, a lot of things were actually empty. You can see here the milk as well. I don't know, like service-wise, there's also, when it comes to coffee, kind of a self-service attempt. It's all fine, and again, if we keep the price in mind, I guess it's okay, but to me, when I think of a Regent, what the brand name stands for, and especially coming from the Regent Hong Kong, I feel like this is not quite worthy of the brand and what the brand stands for. Nevertheless, here are some samples of our breakfast. It's still nice, you get a lot of variation. I think it's good enough of a value, but regardless of that, at least adjust your expectations that this is not crazy high-end. Okay then, after getting our stomachs filled, let's go to the pool. So the Regent Taipei actually has an outdoor swimming pool, which is quite rare, I think, in Taipei to have a pool in general. This is on the 20th floor, so the top floor, you take a door and then another staircase until you make it finally to the top. You can see it here, it's not massive, but it's really nice that they have it. There's a couple of seating options with chairs, with these beach chairs, loungers, and little cabanas, which is cool. And then you can also see the pool here. One thing that's interesting is you can see this big screen, so they're actually showing some movies apparently in the evening. However, it seems they're just playing some more like generic cartoons and stuff, so nothing specific, not a full-time movie, so I don't think you have to wait out for it. One thing to note also is it was extremely hot on that day, 32, 33 degrees when we tried out the pool, and it was ice cold in the pool, so we actually didn't really get to use it much. Nevertheless, you get some free water. The pool itself, it's nice that they have it. I wish it was a bit warmer, but I also have to say it never was too crowded when we went there, so that's quite cool. And to just have the option of a pool in the middle of a city feels really nice. So overall, I would definitely rate this as a plus, not to mention that it looks really cool in the evening when it's lit up that nicely. So then let me get to my conclusion, and to be fair, I couldn't cover everything. There's of course a ton of restaurants because this is a kind of event and wedding focused hotel in a way. Also, there are two lounges. One is if you have the status or the annual lounge pass or membership with IHG, there's a balcony lounge. And on top of that, this one, I only could find photos of it, is the Taiwan lounge, which apparently is quite nice, and you only get it if you book a room accordingly. You don't get it through status of any kind. So overall, I have to say, location-wise, this is a great hotel. And if you keep the price in mind, I think the value is quite good. For me, it competes directly with the Kimpton Da'an Taipei, of which we already have uploaded a video, so check that out. And for me personally, and that's just me, is I prefer a more modern hotel, even if the general offering is more modest. I'd rather have a smaller breakfast but of higher quality than all the options but not such great quality. The room as well, this room is quite a bit bigger than what we had at the Kimpton, but with the wear and tear and kind of this old school thing that you have to do everything by hand, it just feels a little bit outdated. I'm not saying you cannot have a great time at the Regent Taipei. I think there's some really nice elements in there. Especially the rooftop pool is quite cool, and of course if you have lounge membership you won't find that at any other IHG properties in Taipei. However, as you saw with the ground coffee and the kettle, it just doesn't feel like a luxury hotel. And even at $220 or so, this actually goes a long way in Taipei to get some nice hotels. And it competes with quite a few hotels, and I believe in the future Taipei will see a lot more hotel brands coming to the city. So think about it, what you value if you have the decision between the Regent Taipei and the Kimpton Taipei specifically, because they're priced almost the same. Think about whether you value more a grand hotel with bigger, older rooms and a bigger but maybe not as high quality breakfast, or if you rather have something more boutique, small, with more selected, higher quality things. Anyway, that's it from my side. I think the review is already long enough, but let me know if you've been to the Regent Taipei. It's always interesting to hear your thoughts. I know I can be quite harsh in terms of my critique sometimes, but I think you should just always approach it in a way that you look at what's important to you in some of the aspects of my review and just ignore the things that are not so important to you. Anyways, that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, so cheers.